Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Buenos dias. Buenas tardes, wherever you are.
Kalispera.
Kalispera, kalimera. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm Ray Christ, the founder of the Jaguar Path.
And I'm Nina Christ, and we are here with the Shaman's View, our live series where we share the teachings of the shamans and how it can apply to your everyday life.
And today's in Shaman's View, we want to bring you into that. Today is especially focusing on sharing with you what the training is about and how you can bring that exactly in your everyday life. An ancient practice that is actually so practical in the modern world and so applicable. It's just wonderful to bring in.
Yes. So today you'll see that it says energetic reset and Q&A. So for the shaman training, our signature training where we share the Caro lineage, this the medicine that comes directly, the teachings that come directly from the Incan shamans of Peru. But before we dive in and kind of talk about the training that launches next weekend, we're so excited about this. We have an amazing group of people. If you guys are with us, if you already are registered, we have an amazing group that's forming. We are just so inspired. And the emails that are coming through of people that are interested. I will say that there have been we're just overwhelmed. We're really overwhelmed with the amount of interest. Thank you for
happily overwhelmed.
Yeah, in a beautiful way. But we're just the interest of seeking, the amount of you that are interested in learning and seeking and accelerating your evolution and your own personal healing is absolutely inspiring. So thank you to everyone who has reached out. And if you haven't reached out yet, you can reach out to us at evolve@jaguarpath.com.
Evolve.
Yeah.
I think it's a key word. Jaguar Path.
And if you reach out and you're interested, we'd be happy to set up a one-on-one discovery call with you. We've been on the phone with quite a few people in the last weeks, and it's just a chance for you to connect one-on-one with Ray or I, or Dila, who will be mentoring with us this year for the training, and we can answer your questions directly. Thank you so much for sharing that. But before we dive in, we wanted to come into our center. There's a practice we'd like to do seated today, where we're going to just come into our center, return to the origin, or returning to your true nature, the nature of your true self, and allowing all other energies to just release, let go, and come back into your center. So I'll guide us into our centering, and then we'll take it from there.
I love that, and you can bring it to the physical, and then I can show us a quick way to open sacred space to the energetic right after.
That.
Follow up with that. All right.
Okay. So here we go. So I've got my feet right on the floor. I've got my knees over my ankles. I'm just going to let my hands rest on my lap. And then nice and easy, I'm just going to lean so that I feel my ears over my shoulders over my hips. Once I feel that alignment, gently pressing down through my sits bones. And then as you take your next breath, you can lengthen up through the crown of your head and feel your chin kind of come into place as the tailbone, spine, back of the neck all align. Feel yourself suspended from above as you're rooted from below. And just gently guide your breath in through your nose. Feel yourself fill up. And release with an audible sigh. Let go of the breath. And if your eyes aren't closed, you can just soften your gaze, releasing any tension behind your eyes, releasing any tension in your jaw, in your neck, in your shoulders. And just take a moment to come into this sacred pause with us, feeling a moment of stillness and quiet, as if everything else is suspended in time. Allow yourself to just hover in this space of timelessness, in this place of grace. And then allow a breath to flow in, filling your whole torso from the bottom, the stomach, all the way up to the collarbones. And let it go with an audible sigh. Allow your eyes to flutter open. And just let your two fingers come up, your thumb and your index finger, and you're going to take it to your collarbones and guide down until there's a little indent. These are kidney 27 points or K27s, and just gently, as if you're touching an iPad, just gently in a clockwise manner, just rub these 2 points. And don't worry about being perfect. Just let your hands find these 2 points. And as you're rubbing, just kind of give a And as we come into these switches, we call them, these neurological switches, as you come into these points, if these points are tender on you, that just means that your body's asking for a little extra time here. So just gently rubbing. This is a way to help reset the nervous system. And then take your index finger, bring it to your navel, and the same thing, you're just going to be rubbing your navel and the K27 points. Just keep rubbing. Yeah. Notice if you're feeling anything shift, and if not, that's okay too. You don't have to think about it, just feel. And then the hand that's on your navel, go ahead and bring that to the tip of your tailbone and rub the tip of your tailbone. So great we have you guys with us. Notice if that's tender. We're helping the body connect front to back, top to bottom. And now take the hands here, this hand, slide it down to your navel. Keep the other one on your tailbone and this one on your navel, and rubbing the tip of the tailbone and the navel together. And then let your hands return to your lap. Notice the shift as you come into this energetic reset of the physical body.
Invite your attention now to your heart. You may even wish to bring your hands, palms together in prayer position, really signifying and bringing the physical attention to your heart. Bring the right and the left side of your body, the feminine and masculine, together at your heart, your left and right hemisphere of your brain. May together we join, and may I live my day-to-day by beginning to bring in the south direction. May I walk with the compass, the south, inviting me to the power animal of the serpent. Thank you, dear serpent, for teaching me how to shed my skin and let go of the past. Thank you for reminding me throughout the day the things that I don't want, that are happening, I can let go of them. And to the winds of the west, to my right, I can feel you, Jaguar, beloved Jaguar, giving me the strength, giving me the ability and sensitivity that you have in your paws to read through circumstances and people, and giving me the strength that you have in your claws to move, direct, and decide what I want. Behind me to the north, beloved hummingbird, thank you for teaching me how to fly backwards and heal the past. Thank you for taking me back to connect me with our ancestors, the yogis, the shamans, and the Taoists. And to my left, to the north, to the winds of the east, thank you, condor, for teaching me how to rise above and have the ability to see the greater picture. When I'm feeling something in a situation, a circumstance, I can rise above it and look at it from above, so I don't have to be emotionally entangled, but rather keep my place of discernment. Below, feeling my feet, beloved Mother Earth, thank you for giving me the body and all that I need, the fruits, the vegetables, the flowers, all the nourishment. Above me, my crown, Inti Taita Mama Kila, Father, Son, Grandmother Moon, thank you for giving me the fire, Father, Son, and the light to see. And we return to the center. This is how I begin my day. So I feel protected. I feel an expansive and symmetric luminous field around me, shining life, love, and life outward. If I'm shining love outward, nothing can come in that is not love. Bow your chin to your chest and say, oh, thank you, beloved self. Bow to yourself. Thank yourself. Feel the gratitude running in your veins. And if you wish to, only if you wish to, bow a little bit deeper to any saint or any god or goddess, any avatar, anyone that you feel that is in the spirit realm that guides you and supports you. And gently inhale and rise.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you. I feel so much more space.
So hopefully you are feeling the energy reset if you just joined us for that short practice of resetting the nervous system with these switches and coming into the sacred space of being guided through the Chicana, the Incan cross, or the compass that allows us to return to our true nature and our center.
An opening sacred space is
Yeah.
like wherever we walk throughout our day, if I can, people ask me, what is opening sacred space? Every space is sacred always. We live in the sacred, and that's the big shift I feel that we move through the 9-month training, is the idea like we leave a state and a place that we move from a point of reference.
Yes.
It's like, what is the other person doing? What is the other person driving? What does the other person have a house? What are these references of things around us, which are important to have? But we really shift gears and we begin to live from a place of a point of reverence. And when I do that, and when I start my day with resetting my body, first of all, because it's commanding my emotional reality, and then my state of mind by opening sacred space, if I meet a person that comes towards me and they're coming with a little bit of negativity, or they're bogged down and they might want to bring me down, I don't know if you've ever felt that, I'm remembering my center. I'm remembering all my allies around me, and I'm putting that outward. I'm emanating this love outward and keeping the stability of where I stand. And that brings me to that first place where the shaman lives, the place of discernment. So if someone is maybe they're carrying anger because they have to deal with something, they're carrying sadness because they lost someone, whatever it is, I don't have to be moved, especially pulled down. So with that said, I think we're going to go back and forth. So what the Jaguar Path is say 5 minutes and then open it to any questions.
Yeah, and we had some questions sent in, so thank you. We have some fantastic questions, and the idea, and we always say this in the training, but if you have a question, it's likely others will benefit from you asking it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. So true. So we wanted to just give a general kind of feel for what the training is, what is it all about, and then we'll get a chance to dive into the questions that were sent in. And of course, if you have any and you're watching now, you can just put them right into the comments, and
that would be awesome.
We'll see them and we'll get to them as soon as we can. But if you're just joining us and you haven't had a chance to meet Ray and I or the Jaguar Path up to this moment, and you just happen to be watching this one, I'll just say that the Jaguar Path School of Yoga, Shamanism, and Tai Chi, that itself is a result of the hero's journey of Ray Christ. So and that was originally founded by you in your hero's journey. And then today, Ray and I run the school together. And I come with my background of 20 years as a martial art disciple. Starting at the age of 17, I began a very disciplined practice of martial arts. And what I share in our training is the practice of Tai Chi. And I do weave in Kung Fu and self-defense and circles of awareness and sacred space and so much more of the philosophy and the theory and the principles of energy and movement and efficiency of movement and efficiency of energy. But I weave this into the energy medicine training because as practitioners, as healers, and in the process of healing oneself, it is really important to not only have a personal practice of energy cultivation and refinement, but also to understand the sensitivities of quality of energy within your own self, and that within the environment that you're walking through and is kind of like your platform of life, and also the energy of others and how that influences you, whether they're in your space or not. And the understanding of this energetic matrix that we all live within. So as we look at the actual training in shamanism and energy medicine, it's broken into 3 different trimesters. We have 3 months, 1 weekend per month. And we start with serpent. Do you want to share with us how you were inspired to design?
I would love to.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say that it is true that I came through my hero's journey. And I also want to say that you've gone through your own hero's journey with a lot of difficulties, and those 20 years of discipline. Many of them were not easy, but you showed that discipline, and you've come through so much free, liberated, and strong.
Thank you, Ray.
So I want to say yes. So we have 3. In this 9 months, the idea of the 9 months is a period of gestation, a period where you can be reborn. Beloved ones from Greece, we love you. The most important thing I want to say about that is common between these 3 lineages is that they all, first of all, bring to our attention that life itself is not what we're feeling and thinking, what's happening around us, what people are saying around us. But first of all, they turn the camera to the self and say, in that, where Socrates said, know thyself, it's saying, let's find out what we are. And these three lineages say what we are is a body, which really defines the sensations of the nervous system and the emotions the organs bring up and out that we're feeling viscerally in our body. We are a mind that is thinking and processing and holding these stories. What happened to me when I was younger? What's happening? What is this person saying to me? I should say this. Why did they say that? This whole process. And we are a soul, which is our true essence. And that true essence of the soul is your true deepest self. So the idea of yoga and Tai Chi, the idea of shamanism, and we're basically focusing very much in Tai Chi, the practice of Tai Chi for all levels, and shamanism, but all that is yoga in the background, really. The idea is that we want to heal these three perceptual states. So each one is healed in its own. So we have the ability for all three to meet, and we can rise above the previous way we were living. So the first 3 months are serpent, and the serpent teaches us how to shed our skin and let go of the past. And that's where we bring the body. Like we can say, I'm going to reset my skin by doing this practice. I'm resetting, letting go of what my emotion was before this. I can let go of what was before. If it was trauma, if it was stories of difficulty, if it was contracts I made when I was young, I am allowed to shed my skin. I can let go of these. So 3 months, we're learning tools that help us release that.
And the serpent is the first animal of the Inca totem. Correct?
Absolutely.
It's the
Absolutely.
first one. It's the foundation.
Yeah, on the ground.
Yeah.
On the ground of Mother Earth. So we find the stability of our feet in Mother Earth. Like the serpent feels belly to belly with Mother Earth, we feel the feet, the stability. The second trimester and the second animal in the totem is the jaguar in the middle world. The jaguar is the mind. Jaguars are the top predator. They are they move, and the jaguar doesn't look behind it to see if someone's walking behind them, tracking them. That would be silly. No one's walking behind a jaguar. So don't do that. So imagine this, that you could have a mind that never is informed by fear, that you could be moving around life and making some decisions. I'm going to take this trip. I'm going to open this business. I'm going to do this or that, not informed by fear. You know caution, you know planning, you know taking careful steps, but you're not informed by fear. This can and does make for a different life. Now, the third power animal on the top of the totem is the condor, and that's the third trimester, where once we've changed the mind, and in these 3 months we work with words. How do we pull words? How can I change my wording? How do I change my thinking? And now I'm liberated from the constructs of my own mind and my own contracts. We move to the last trimester, where we are the deepest, most magic shamanic tools, where we rise above, because remember that the condor helps us rise above and see the greater picture. So we're arriving at a place of discernment above a previous self. And in a very similar way, it's like how you, in a way, outgrew yourself from elementary school. And then you later on outgrew yourself from the teenage years. And then you later on outgrew yourself from the decade from the 20s to the 30s. And you're becoming this other person, more the grown up, more the responsible one, right? And you can look back with compassion and love to that which you were a child or a teenager or a younger adult. Very similarly, when we do these 3 months, you're going to look back to your life from before the training and after the training. You're going to look behind, and this is what everyone says, and we've shared this with thousands of people. You're going to look behind and say, I love myself, and I'm so happy to have taken this step above. And so you rise in condor, and we rise above our previous self, which we totally love. And there was a step and a moment in life, but you were a kid, a teenager, it's a step and moment in life. And we rise above the collective consciousness. We shift gears. Becoming the shaman means I am walking in reverence. I am remembering my own power. I am cape-able. I'm cape-able. I can put that superhero's cape on. I'm able. I'm response-able. I'm responsible for myself. So I can respond. I'm able to respond.
And I think as you were just saying, one thing I would add is, not only that as we're moving through the training, do you feel that capability arise, and this more like really just thinking of like optimizing yourself, all parts of yourself, and really falling in love with this true nature of who you are. And what we hear so many times is, oh my gosh, I get to be more me. So we're here to kind of help shed any of these constructs that have been imposed, let you just release them as you at the pace that feels good for you, so that you can step into being more fully yourself, more fully you. That's so because true. You are unique and you are awesome, right? And any part of the narrator that wants to resist that, we have tools to help just kind of soften that resistance, release that friction, let go of that grasping or holding that we sometimes may feel as we're moving through life. Because sometimes these constructs are put in place to support us in a moment of life, and they have a purpose, and they feel safe. And then there's a time to let go of those training wheels, let go of that construct, and feel the liberation, so you can feel yourself in this new state of maturity, in this new space of really feeling your full discernment, integrity, and dignity. And
awesomeness.
Yeah. And so that kind of lays it out. I just wanted to say some of the questions that have come through. Just so you have an understanding, we are 1 weekend a month. It's Saturday and Sunday. We're all in Eastern Standard Time because Ray and I were living in upstate New York, and we have a lot of you coming in through New England. However, we have expanded in our international community. We have people in Europe and throughout the world, and throughout the UK, all through the US, South America, Canada, Australia. Thank you guys. We are so touched to have such a broad community. And we see it as a light grid. We are here. Each one of us represents a bright light, a star that helps kind of create this matrix of support for all of us. So as we look at it, it's 9 to 11:30 in the morning. And then we have a nice hour and a half break for lunch and just kind of integration time. And then we go in from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. So you're starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, you're finished at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You still have a good part of your weekend. That's Saturday and Sunday. One of the questions that came through was like, what if I wake up and one of my children are sick, or my Wi-Fi is glitchy, or something's going on where I can't be there, even though I've like set this time aside for this? We just want to let you know that all of the sessions are offered live on Zoom with Ray and I, recorded, and they're housed in a private membership site. So at any time you can go back and review the recordings and go over the work so that it fits your lifestyle, right? You will have access to these recordings beyond the training. So there's no urgency, although it's nice to keep it within the 9-month construct, as Ray explained, for this process of really rebirth, this kind of shedding the old and stepping into the new you.
Someone said here, also asked, that's perfect. Yeah. You can read you can get the recording and see it the next day, the following day, but keep it in that. So we're all going together, like see the recording before the next session, because it prepares you also. We're building. Yeah. Someone asked about taking notes. That I like to take notes, but I'm afraid that I might not, that while I'm taking notes, I'm missing out. I have a story I'm going to quickly share.
Okay.
That one of my very, very first teacher was Don Manuel. Someone have maybe heard me talk about him. Don Manuel was awesome. And I took notes forever. When I would go to Peru, I had this notebook that had become this thick just because of the amount of ink that was on the paper. It had built up, and it's traveling. And about 2 years into my apprenticeship with him and taking notes with what he was saying, we set up camp somewhere, and he said, let's set up camp here. We're going to light a fire, get some more wood. And I look around and I see that he just started the fire by using my notebook. So he lit fire to my whole notebook, and that's how we had the fire. And he looked at me. I was like devastated. I don't know what my look in my face was, but he said, oh my God, now you're no one. You've lost your notes. You're not anyone. So I'm going to say, take notes if you want. Don't think about it too much. The essence and the beauty is that what you will hear will make sense to the deepest part of who you are and automatically find its place. If you want for some part of yourself to take notes and go back to them, you can. But know what you will hear, your heart will remember, and automatically it's going to be where it needs to be.
Yeah. And one of the things that we mentioned to the people that register that I find is helpful when doing these types of trainings is you can kind of just write down a timestamp so that you can go back and know where in the weekend we discussed a certain concept that you want to revisit, but allowing yourself to just open and sit and receive so that you can be fully present and just really, like Ray was saying, like your whole self just receive it. And then just jot down the time that it happened, or something that there's a key principle that you want to review or integrate more.
Yeah, and I want to say that I revisited everything and took a year and rewrote all the notes in the form of handouts, which then Nina took and rewrote and formatted and made her magic happen. So you are connected with the membership site where you go in each session, and you say, well, I have the whole recording, I can watch the whole thing again. And I have the handouts that are very meticulously detailed on the steps of every tool. And along with that, also extra resources, like there's about movies or videos or books that you can read. So, and our awesome group of people that we have is online forum where we all can meet together. And hey, what did you hear? Exchange between you guys, throw out questions to us, along with also the first Wednesday of every month. 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a Q&A. So if you missed the session, or if there's an extra question you want to have, we're right there. And we're beyond very happy to answer. It's like we're looking forward to each of these weekends. We're looking forward to each of these Wednesdays. We're sharing, and our sharing is what we love to do most in life. I mean, along with our travels and the practices of all this is the sharing of all this.
It lights us up.
It does light us up.
It really does. And we're so excited to be launching. This time next weekend, we will be full swing in the training with many of you. There was another question that we're getting actually from quite a few people about, am I qualified? Basically, is this beyond me? This training, I will say, is divine in the sense that if you've never had any experience in energy medicine, this training is for you. If you are a master in energy medicine and you've been spending your entire life doing energy work, this training is for you, and everywhere in between. Like we mentioned, I have been a practitioner of energy medicine since a very young age. I continue daily to cultivate in my practices, Ray as well. And the two of us together, we don't stop talking about these principles and theories and ways of being, this alternate way of showing up in the world. So we're here to have those discussions. We have people that come into the training that share their wisdom. There's people that come into the training that are just like fully open to learning everything and anything. And really, truly, there's nothing you need to be or do. If you're feeling called to the training, reach out to us. Let us know how we can support you to make this happen for you. We really,
I'd like to add, to just echo what you just said. If you're a beginner, you're setting down an amazing foundation that's going to give you accelerated evolution, because you're going to get the essence directly with very clear English to understand and shift you inside, heart, mind, body. And if you're a practitioner of many years, even 20 and 30 years, you will get a clarification of where science meets all this work that is going to give you a whole shift of perspective and deeper dive into what you're already doing, clarification. And it's the glue, what I get from a lot of people is what it's going to allow you, this training is what is going to allow you to bring everything that you've done in your life, to bring it together in one place.
Integrating all of that and kind of weaving it all together.
I feel time is slipping, but why don't we just can we just start the 9-month training right now?
I know. There was another question that came through, actually, just wanting to speak to, and I'm looking at my notebook because a bunch of people had sent things in. Someone asked, well, what happens when the training ends? Will we have any level of support? Can we reach out to you guys if I'm trying to apply the teachings and I have a question on a healing or this or that? We have an amazing community of graduates, and we have our Jaguar Path Collective private Facebook group. You're welcome to join if you haven't joined yet. That's a great way to reach out for support. Ray and I are always available via email, and we're always happy to hop on a call. And we always are happy to invest our energy into areas where the energy of the Keros, of these earth keepers, medicine men and women, wherever there's somebody investing their time and their energy into this work, we are right there to support you. So after the 9 months, it's not like the gate closes and you're cut off. We are here. We become a family. We become an online community where we can continue to connect and unite and really support one another.
I'm going to really quickly take this question and from, let me scroll up and see, this is Kat from England. Hey, Kat. So the energy clearing that we did, or reset that we just did, the one part was Taoist in the sense that it resets the whole neurology of the body. It's a physical practice, and the shamanic practice of opening space. For the shamans in Peru, we start from the south. Mm-hmm. And as you said, you say here in England, you start from the east. It is absolutely the same. It is like walking out a day, and one moment I'm walking towards the south, the other moment I'm walking towards the east. You will learn these tools, and we'll learn them as the blueprint, as the shamans, the Q'ero shamans of the Andes have shared it with me, with us. And once you use them, you'll know what tools they offer you, how the serpent helps me in one moment, the jaguar, the hummingbird, or the condor. Mm-hmm. And then you can use that, and you can use the ones you've also learned. Learning the blueprint of how the Q'eros have shared allows you to create that beautiful fort, the beautiful warrior's shield that is love beaming outward. So I hope that answers your question.
Excellent question, Kat. So good to see you on. And Bridget will be a mentor with us this year. I'm really thrilled to have your presence. Is a beautiful seasoned shaman and energy practitioner. Yes, you know it well, Bridget. We will have the shamans visit us. They will be online with us from Peru. They will be joining us in our sacred space in our community. And we also do invite others throughout the year, depending on, as we're moving through, we've had other special guests come on, experts in different fields of energy medicine. And we will kind of share that in our more intimate circle as we form our tribe, our group for this year. But absolutely, the shamans are with us. Usually they're with us the first weekend of each trimester, and they are the ones they will absolutely be with us in our initiation at the end, when everyone is initiated as Pampo Messiahs, medicine men and women that carry the medicine bundle of the tradition of the Q'eros, as that in the valley, in the medicine men and women of the valley.
In the valley of life. I think that's the most shamanic thing we've done, to be able to have the shamans online. And the idea of the whole thing is, how do you bring this, because these people do not have a laptop, they do not know how to open Zoom, and we've managed and we've made it happen. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're bringing it to you. First of all, them and through Zoom, but also their ways in your everyday life in the modern world.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning for our Shaman's View. If any other questions come up, please just email us at evolve@jaguarpath.com. And we will be launching next weekend, and just let us know. Like I said, if there's any part of you that's curious, you can email us here, or you can visit this link to set up a one-on-one call with Ray or I, and we are happy to talk directly with you.
Yeah, I would say copy paste that link, copy that link and have it, and feel free. I mean, if you like this 32 minutes, we're going a few minutes, first time ever, we go a little over. If you like that, to have a one-on-one, we can really answer any questions and open a dialogue and really feel into how we teach and how we share.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sending our love to you. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And we look forward to connecting with you more in the Shaman's View.
Have a great weekend. See you on the Jaguar Path. Lots of love.